Hello everyone, it's Christine here and I'm back for our stitch along, and we are going to be doing a gathered ribbon rose tonight. So I think I'll be adding it to my folded ribbon rose piece, which is all finished here, and I think I'll put it up in this area. But we first need to create our gathered rose off the piece of fabric. So we are going to take two different sized, different width ribbons. So the book suggests using 40 centimetres or 18 inches in length ribbon, and they're using a 7mm length of ribbon and a 4mm length of ribbon. I'm just using two that I had on my desk. They're ones that I was using for the other roses. This one's got a little bit of staining. It's a vintage ribbon, so I figure because it's all going to be gathered up, that staining won't matter. And then I'm using some of this thinner, more sort of translucent with this lovely goldy sort of sheen on it for the other bit. Once you've done, selected your two ribbons and cut them into about 40 centimetres. I didn't really measure mine. Mine's probably a little bit under, I think mine's probably closer to 30 centimetres worth. That's the sort of the length of it. Then you want to line up two of your edges of the ribbon together. So just on the bottom or the top edge, it doesn't really matter, with your thinner ribbon sitting on top of the other ribbon. And then you just want to go along with a regular sewing thread, so a thread that's strong-ish, and sewing threads, particularly polyester ones, tend to be stronger than cotton embroidery floss. And you just want to do a running stitch from one end of the ribbon to the other end. I'll just hold it down so you can see. So I've just put a little knot in this end to hold it, and then I've just done a running stitch all the way along, just close to where I've lined up the two edges of the ribbon together. And I'll just finish doing that running stitch with you. I thought I wouldn't make you watch the whole procedure. Let me get it to the right spot. So yeah, just lining up your two pieces of ribbon together, and then just putting stitches all the way, running stitch style, down the ribbon, because we're going to use that to lightly gather it, and then it's going to be couched down onto the fabric. So I imagine you could do these as close or as sort of a bit more spaced as you want. I'm just doing sort of a medium spacing. If you did them close, then I think you'll get an even tighter gather. So I'm just going to continue all the way down to the end doing this. So I hope you are well when you're watching this video. Hoping to head out into the garden soon, filming this on Sunday afternoon. Gorgeous day here. It's so nice to have the warmer weather. Thinking a simple dinner tonight, a simple eggy fried rice with lots of vegetables in it. And then that way I'll have some of those for working day lunches. Trying to make sure I've got all my provisions for food sorted this week, because yeah, anticipating another busy working week. And last week there are a few instances where I didn't properly get to eat my respective breakfasts and lunches, so just got to make sure food's at the ready and easy to grab. So when you're working hard, you particularly need to make sure you're sustained. Got lots of good fruits as well and lots of veg in the house, so I think by the time you're watching this will be to next weekend. I think you might be watching this on like a Friday or maybe Saturday night, I think, or Saturday night my time, but maybe Saturday morning or afternoon your time, possibly. I might have my days wrong. That is possible too. So I'm at the end of my ribbon. I'm going to leave my needle threaded, and I'm going to pull the running stitch to gather the ribbons until they measure, they say 23 centimetres, so they're going from about 40 centimetres to 23 centimetres. or it might be 46. They've written the number rather funnily in the book. I can't tell if it's a 40 or a 46. I don't think it really matters for the purpose of this exercise. So if you're like me, you'll probably have to kind of run the gather down as you pull your little thread, and just don't pull it too hard because you don't want to break it. You just want to gently ease it down, so it just gently gathers down as it goes. So Martha, I think these will be right up your alleyway with your beautiful textured roses that you've got, roses and flowers and hearts and shapes that you've been doing. So I'll try and stay on camera as I do this gathering process. So I guess you want to just get sort of an even gather. So if it gets a bit more gathered in some slots, you can kind of just let it spread a little incy-wincy bit. Maybe a smidge more gathering. Might just put one more little gathery in here, or one or two, just to finish off this bit of, or maybe I'll actually take that little endy bit off. Take the end off there. And so our next step will be using the same thread, position this end in the center of the shape to be filled, and then couch in place with tiny stitch just through the edge of the ribbon, and then begin folding the ribbons around the center, couch in place at 3 to 4 millimeter intervals using tiny stitches, and then we just continue spiraling around as we go. So I think I'm pretty happy. I reckon that's got plenty of twist in it. So we'll grab our piece, and I guess we start by just stitching over the end and putting this little piece into the center where we want it. So I think I might actually have to flip this out of its hoop. I don't think it's going to stay in there and fit this rose up the top. So we'll start it in the center, maybe here-ish. So we'll stitch over with a tiny stitch just through the edge of the ribbons, okay? Right. And then begin folding the ribbons around the center. So let's just see how it's going to look before we fully stitch it down. So let's just do a little experiment. Let's see if we're happy with something like that as our finish. Yeah, I think that will be quite pretty actually. So we might even try and get it a little bit more spiraled as we go, but that's given us the theory. So let's start anchoring it down. And I guess if I give the thread a bit of a pull, it will even give me a bit more. I think the tighter it is, I think even the better it looks. So that we keep some nice twist. So I'll do the first spiral, and I think I'll come through and do a little holding stitch on that. And then I think I'll just hold that center spiral in place. I think that's mostly held in place. I might do another one just up through the center. Hopefully, because I'm using a pink that's the same color as the sort of the lower ribbon, I think that should work. Yeah, maybe I can get most of it. I know it says in the book to kind of spiral and stitch as you go. I think I can probably lay it where I want it and then put some put some holding stitches in, which might be a bit quicker even. Now I guess I just need to make sure it's not going to be sitting over my writing. I think that's lovely. That's really textural and gorgeous. So maybe I need to put a stitch in to hold that outer piece. Let's get that stitched in place. Oops, I'll come back into the fabric. I don't want to do that. I just want to pop out at the back. And then I'm just going to pop up at various little intervals and make sure that I'm catching through that lower ribbon. And then just popping back down close to where I pop out. But yeah, that's a fun technique, and I do like using that nice gauzy ribbon for a really textural bloom. I suppose it'll go flat when I make my book. My book won't be perfectly flat anyway. I can always make this a sort of more of a bookmarky piece or something if it is too big to. Where's my centre meant to be? Lost my centre. I think that's my centre there, isn't it? Yeah. You could always do some beads or something even in the centre as well. Oops, try not to catch your ribbon as you couch it down. Just pop up through here, put a stitch in there. But it seems to be holding, yeah, I thought it might be a bit more wiggly and wobbly, but I think because you do that initial gathering up, and then it just sort of holds in its twisted form. So I think that's pretty good. I can always do a few more stitches after, but main thing will be just to make sure it's sitting more above there. But that is our folded ribbon rose or flower. Obviously, if your ribbon wasn't as big as this gauzy one, then you'd see more of the one underneath. But I do like that. I do like that gauzy effect, and then seeing the different colours of the ribbon underneath. It almost takes on that coffee tone of the gauzy ribbon. Thanks so much for watching, and tomorrow we will be moving on to Giord's knot. I don't know if I said that right, but it's like the turkey work or tufting stitch. So I will see you then. Thank you everyone. Take care. Bye.